Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of NoxtromTV, Football Soccer in Time. And today we will talk about Windsor City FC, the last games the team has performed. Let's see what's going on with the team. Let's start with the game that actually was on Friday, June 6th, against the North Mississauga SC. As we know, North Mississauga SC has been the team that has defeated the Sudbury Cyclones, which are at the top of the table. And Sudbury Cyclones, they were like in first place. They were undefeated until they had the match against North Mississauga SC. And was going to be a really, really hard game for Windsor City FC, even though the team has become really better at half field, at midfield, and they become really good on the offensive. But this time seems like the team had an early disadvantage. The team has an early disadvantage, and that, of course, affected the team performance. And so on Friday, at the game between North Mississauga FC and Windsor City FC, the team lost 3-1. And so what happened in the game is that the North Mississauga FC, they came right away, really aggressive, and the first 2 minutes of the game, they scored the first goal. They were right away to the offensive. They wanted to get the first goal, the early advantage, the strategic advantage at the beginning of the game. And of course, at minute 2, North Mississauga SC scored the first goal, which that early advantage really was something that the Windsor FC struggled, because then they went to the offensive, even though they were dominated at the midfield. They were trying to get through the defensive lines of North Mississauga SC. They couldn't concrete at the end. There were really, really close calls. There were a lot of close calls. The Windsor City FC was really close to get to the net. However, they just couldn't. They just couldn't have the self-confidence to shoot that ball in between the arc, and that was something they were chasing. They were chasing at some point. Of course, North Mississauga SC started playing on the counter-offensive, and the counter-attack, and at minute 42 or something, I want to see, I don't remember. But the thing is that by halftime already, the North Mississauga SC has already three goals. So at the end of the first 45 minutes, North Mississauga SC was winning 3-0 against Windsor City FC. And so Windsor City FC came back after the break for the second 45 minutes, and they were pressing. There were some scare, but of course North Mississauga SC, they knew 3-0. They had the game on the pocket, so they were playing really good on the defensive. They were counter-attacking Windsor City, but Windsor City FC was really good on the defensive lines, and finally, I think minute 72, Nicolas Fonteca scored the goal for the Windsor FC, so we don't have to go like without goal, and the team scored the goal, and the game ended 3-1. And I want to say it was a good game. It was a really interesting game, and one of the things that I want to put attention is that North Mississauga SC came with a really good level of gameplay. Of course, after winning against Sudbury Cyclones, week, game week, they came with that self-confidence. On the other hand, Windsor FC came from a tie that it was a sour tie because they were winning, and you know, in the last minute they got the tie, and so they were coming, and they knew, the team knew that this team was a strong team. They you know, they got up to the task. They played a really good game. Unfortunately, that goal at the beginning of the game that impacted the whole, you know, the whole 90 minutes of the game. So that was something that unfortunately affected the team. And then of course, then that was on Friday, June 6th. Then on June 9th, they have the Cup 1 tournament, and they were playing against the Scorsopi team, which is from the Premier League. And so the team came from a loss against Normally Sagayasi. They came to play against a team on the Premier League, which is, I want to say, all the teams are kind of on the same level. Like, there's not too much difference on levels. And even though the Windsor FC, they played really good, they were no match for Scorsopi FC, and the team lost 3-0. It was an interesting game because the difference between that game and the previous one is the Scorsopi scored until minute 11, still an early goal, like the first 11 minutes of the game, and they scored again minute 43. So before the halftime break, they were already winning 2-0 against the Windsor FC. The team went to the lockers for a talk. They came back. They tried to get a score on the other side, and however, Scorsopi FC scored another goal, and the game ended, shattering the dreams for Windsor FC to get to the Cup 1 tournament. So that's elimination tournament. So Windsor FC has been eliminated from that tournament, unfortunately. But nonetheless, the team is doing better than the beginning of the season. Even though this couple of losses, they are kind of unfortunate. But if you can see the play that the team is doing before, at the beginning they were really disorganized. Now they have more organization, they're playing better. And I think we have to talk about that to the team. Whatever they're doing now, they have just to focus on getting to the net. I think that's the thing. The only thing that is missing is getting to the net, because they have a really strong midfield now. For the previous few couple of weeks, they have strong defensive lines. But what has been missing is the goal. Is the goal. The offensive is doing good, the midfield is doing good, the defensive is doing good, but what is missing is the goal. That's the only thing that is missing from the team. If they can get to the net, get the self-confidence to get to the net and score the goal, that would be a really much different story. And it's not impossible, because last year, if I can remember, the St. Catherine's Roma, they were at the bottom of the table, and they jumped to the second place. And then in a tournament, because some circumstances they were able to jump to the Premier League. That's one of the things that Windsor is looking for. To get to the top of the table, get really good team play, get a good show for the fans, and I think they are getting there. They're getting there. So I want to now talk about the stats. No, the stats. Let's see the standings. Okay, in the standings we have Sudbury Cyclones at the top of the page, at the table, sorry, with 18 points, followed by the Borough FC, the team from Scarborough, that they are in the second place, and North Mississauga FC with the previous couple of wins, they are now in the third place. We were United, 13 points, your United Academy, 12 points, with Pickering FC, 12 points, with the FC, 10 points, Biblican, 8 points, then Windsor City FC with 5 points, and at the end is Hamilton United with 2 points. So there is still a long way to go for Windsor FC to get to the top of the table, but they need to win. They need to win. The team needs to. They have to continue playing like that. But I think what they need to do is really have the self-confidence to shoot the ball inside the arc. I think that's the only thing that's missing. Be able to shoot inside the arc, because in games I can see they shoot, but the ball goes a little bit to the left, go to the right. They try to make a field goal, goes over the top post, and it's something that the team needs to work on, is in that scoring the goal. Last year they have a very good scorer. They have one of the top scorers in the league. This year, I think that's what they are missing, is they have really good forwards. Not for that, Nicolas Fonseca was able to score a really nice goal. But what is missing is just get the ball inside the net. And so those are the standings. Now let's go and see the next game the team has. Is going to be on this Saturday, 14. Against the Sudbury Cyclones. So the team is going to play Sudbury Cyclones, Cambrian College, at 7 p.m. in Sudbury. It's going to be a really interesting game because they're just facing the top teams on the table. They just face North Mississauga SC. They faced before the Borough, and now they're facing Sudbury Cyclones. It's going to be a really interesting game for the team. So is the next game of the team here in Windsor is going to be until June 20th, the Friday. Let me see if I can share with you. It's going to be the Friday. It's going to be against Hamilton United. Both teams trying to get away from basement hell. So it's going to be at 7 p.m. See, it's most likely to be in Ackman Stadium. It's going to be Ackman Stadium, 7 p.m. June 20th. So I want everyone that is watching this live stream to go to the stadium on that day and support our team with FC. They need the player number 12 on the field, and because home advantage is really important. Playing at home is really important because they have the fan support, and that motivates the team to get a better game. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time, and I wish everyone the best of the best. See you in the next episode.